Hey, welcome to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0, ArrowFM in the Wire Rapper, and Manawatu People's Radio. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey.
So we're going to start off a little bit of Raw. Obviously, the big match now, I guess it was pretty big to start with, but now confirmed big match, the Raw Women's Championship.
We all suspected it, but the WWE decided, you know what, we're just going to go out and confirm it. Mm-hmm. The women will main event the biggest show of the year this year. Mm-hmm. They will end the show. Which, the match got even bigger thanks to SmackDown.
We'll talk about it all in one big go. But yeah, the build between this match has been crazy good. I've enjoyed everything that we're getting out of it. By the sounds of it, everything's going pretty darn well as well. Becky Lynch picked up a little bit of a win on Raw with a bit of a beat the clock challenge. Been a while since I remember one of those. I'm sure there was one like last month that I completely forgot about. And then, as you say, over on SmackDown, plans changed a little bit.
I don't think plans changed, it's just they added a new dimension to the plan.
True. Well, I guess the plan was Asuka to defend her SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania against the winner of this Fatal 4-Way. And instead, Charlotte Flair grabs the SmackDown Women's title and runs off to WrestleMania with it.
Yeah, they retconned that, so that never happened. Yeah, it's an interesting wrinkle. Honestly, I had questioned whether or not they could maintain two women's championships and the tag team titles with the number of talent they currently have on the main roster. So if this is a way to merge the two titles into one, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I think probably on Raw, they'll probably announce a winner-take-all stipulation.
Okay.
Both titles are on the line. The winner becomes the first undisputed women's champion. And that'll probably be Becky.
There's basically two outcomes, and I think you mentioned outcome number one there, and outcome number two would be Charlotte's SmackDown Women's title just being brushed to the side for a little while. Becky picks up the Raw Women's here, and then you got obviously the four horsewomen, if Boss and Hug retain their titles, holding belts at the end of WrestleMania. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Everybody claps, and everybody goes home happy. Or as you say, merge the titles.
Except the SmackDown Women's division.
Of course.
Especially Naomi, who said that that's BS on Instagram.
Yeah, people are allowed to be vocal. People are allowed to have opinions. It'd be a pretty boring world if people weren't. Changing the plans up as it was were a little janky. If this does not lead to a unification, then it's a little weird to me. Just in terms of why. Basically, the unification and the four horsewomen holding the belts are really the only two reasons I could see for putting the belt on Charlotte at the moment.
The third is just, it's just to get the SmackDown title out of the way, because that way we don't have yet another match, because right now, the current plans is like 17 matches.
Yeah, so we just rip one match out and we're saved. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens in terms of how this feud evolves, and as you say, whether it becomes a unification or whether it doesn't. I think Becky wins regardless. But let's wait and see for 2 weeks, or sorry, 1 week's worth of Raw and SmackDown. Let's look at it that way. Let's fly on back to Raw, and let's look at the Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania.
Well, it'll be a rematch, even though technically those aren't supposed to exist anymore.
Hey! Finn earned his title match. But yeah, as you say, it'll be Finn versus Bobby for the Intercontinental title. Effectively booking both mid-card titles at the moment to be in singles matches. Feels like it's been a while since that happened. Most of the, I guess, modern era has had a multi-man match from memory.
Especially the Intercontinental Championship and ladder matches.
Yeah. So, a bit of an interesting factor. I guess a couple weeks ago we were talking about Finn Balor and The Undertaker possibly squaring up, so I'm going to assume that this pushes that to the side. Possibilities of that flies out. The Undertaker still, I guess, roaming around. We're not quite set on what quite could happen with him in terms of WrestleMania, or is he just going to sit it out? We'll have to wait and see. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, WrestleMania, it's made official.
Time for the big dog to get his yard back.
No, Drew McIntyre clearly wins here.
Maybe in Earth 54, but this is Earth 1.
Is that a specific number or a random number?
Just a random number.
Okay. I'm not sure if I'm missing a comic reference here. I'm pretty sure if you looked at 54 different Earths, Drew McIntyre loses on every single one of them. So we'll have to wait and see, but wait and see in this case means how badly Drew McIntyre is going to lose. But I guess the build-up to this match is that Drew McIntyre is winning quite a bit, and therefore I can be happy in the build-up and just not watch the WrestleMania match and pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, unless you're a fan of Dean Ambrose.
He's on his way out anyway. Gonna lose as much as he wants. We got our Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We know last week Braun Strowman was in it. And this week, we learned about 2 new entrants, a couple random celebrities.
And you know some... no. I'll talk about that when we get to SmackDown.
Oh, you held it in a little bit there.
Yeah, because I don't want to spoil anything for SmackDown.
Fair enough. So far, the Battle Royal is 3 people.
And if you believe the dirt sheets... Rob Gronkowski and Conor McGregor and whoever else is relevant.
Who is a celebrity who has tweeted about WWE at least once? Bang them on the list. They'll be in the Battle Royal.
It is what it is.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens, because I remember Shaq, is that 2 years ago now? Maybe even 3 years ago. Popping up. Gronk obviously helping out with Mojo, because I'm pretty sure Mojo won it. I've kind of erased that part from my memory, but I'm pretty sure it happened. So it's not like celebrities in this match is new.
Mojo eliminated Jinder Mahal with Gronk's help, and then Jinder promptly won the WWE Championship.
So coming second in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is the golden ticket, pretty much. And I'm not going to look at the evidence to say otherwise. We got our Women's Tag Championship match, the Fatal 4-Way between all of the women. Iconics are in there. Natalia and Beth are in there. Another 4th team that there's absolutely no hype about are in there. But pretty much, Iconic's going to walk out with the belts. Don't correct me here. Just agree.
I can't agree, though.
I don't want that answer from you. I want, yes, Grady. That is going to happen.
You're not getting it. Instead, you're getting... Bayley and Sasha retains.
Or Alternately, Iconics win.
There's not even an Earth 454 where they win.
I will fight you to the moon. The Iconics are going to walk out champion. I don't care that I just talked about the image of the 4 Horsewomen retaining. I don't care that I've previously talked about them defending it on NXT with the Sky Pirates or 4 Horsewomen of MMA. I don't care about any of that. You've got me a shot. The Iconics gonna win. They lost it at the last shot. There was some cheating going on, some foul play. They should have won. And now they're gonna redeem that loss here. And that is all. Full stop. I'm going to move on to the next topic so that you can't dispute my comments there. And instead, we're going to talk about Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe going toe-to-toe. Or head-to-head. But there was a headbutt spot. It was, I guess, for those who didn't watch Impact, when their first fight they had together, there was a headbutt spot to start it off as well, so it was mirroring that. But Kurt Angle, I guess, continuing along his farewell tour.
And I watched the match on SmackDown, and oh god, it just reminded me of how sad it is at the end of his career.
Yeah, let's combine those on. Let's just talk about them both at the same time. So over on Raw, Kurt Angle obviously took on Samoa Joe, and then over on SmackDown, he took on AJ Styles. I say it was his farewell tour, but it's pretty much his revisiting all of his old TNA feuds tour.
Yeah, except next week I think he's facing Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. We gotta finish it with some WWE names.
We didn't get a full match between AJ Styles and Kurt Angle. He got like 3 minutes.
Yeah, sadly.
And it was a sad 3 minutes. That's again why I think Baron Corbin was chosen, is because Kurt just doesn't have it in him anymore to wrestle a great match.
Mm-hmm. Nah, it'll be a swerve. John Cena's gonna come out. Boom. The match is there. I put on my contrary voice. It's not that different to my normal voice, I've realized. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to say, as of the moment, it is Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. We've got one more Raw that things could change on. Maybe he really wants a rematch against Rey Mysterio after Rey wins. Who knows? I do, that's not happening. Another talking point from Raw. Triple H, he's put his career on the line against Batista because he really wants to ensure that he ain't losing.
Yeah, and the best thing about that whole thing was the letter getting stuck in his pocket.
These two, I don't believe the feud is meant to be seated in comedy, but these two have had 2 great weeks of just comedicness. From give me what I want to, as you say, the letter getting stuck in the pocket. It's
Yeah, it got buried in his pocket, right beside Booker T.
Wow. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the match, but I feel like this, if there was any confusion or any dampener on what might happen, I feel like this completely locks it to, there's no way Triple H is losing this, right?
Unless he's really ready to go full time with the business side and doesn't want to be in the ring anymore.
It's possible. I wouldn't put my money on it, but it is possible. Alright, we've probably got to play a song at some point, so let's do that now. You've picked Charlotte Flair's theme. I think there's an obvious reason here. It may correlate to her picking up some gold. Possibly.
And with it, her 8th record, 8th women's title reign.
And that's why you're about to hear the song. And you're back with a Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM, ArrowFM, and MPR. Grady, Josh, SmackDown. Now see, we already talked about Charlotte winning the title. We already talked about Kurt Angle, AJ Styles. There's a big piece that takes up a lot of SmackDown, but we're going to get this one last topic done before we get to the big boy. And that's The Miz and Shane McMahon. And now we got a stipulation.
Yeah, wasn't exactly expecting that. But...
Why? It's a Shane McMahon match. He's got to be able to do something stupid.
Yeah, it was interesting. It's been a great build. Oh, and they dug up Sanity just so they could get buried by Miz.
Oh.
Along with 7 hapless security guards.
Yeah. They didn't even put the shovel away, right? Like, they just dug him up, got him out, and they just left the shovel right there. Because they knew they weren't going to be there for long. To be fair, Miz probably just used the same old hole. Just knock him back out, throw him back in, tip the dirt back on. Work smarter, not harder.
And tossed in Sheldon Benjamin.
Just lay him on top. There's enough room for everybody in here. But I believe we're going last man standing.
No.
Nope. Falls count anywhere. Damn it. My internet was failing me and it wasn't loading the page quick enough, and I'm like, I'm gonna just have to make a guess on this one. Falls count anywhere. I got close enough. A pick off the top.
I totally want to fight in the concession stand.
You ask for that every time.
It's been a long time since we got to fight in the concession stand.
Every single time there's a false count anyway, you're like, concession stand, concession stand, concession stand.
At least I'm not asking for a fight in the bathroom.
That's true. Though there could be quite a bit of comedy in that. I'm gonna not continue to imagine bathroom spots in this falls count anywhere match anymore. And more look towards what is Shane McMahon gonna jump off this time. There's a lot of things. He loves jumping, and it could be anywhere. I guess your other option is leaving the arena. Possibility there.
Yeah, they could end up in the Hudson River. That'd be an awful long fight to get there, but that's where they could end up.
They just jump in a taxi, it's fine. Just brawl in the back of a taxi. So yeah, that's Shane, that's Miz. Now we're down to the final topic this week that we're going to chat about. And it's Kofi Kingston related again.
New Day!
We got one more gauntlet match. End it all. All you had to do was threaten to leave. Why didn't they think of this earlier?
Well, you know what they should have really done? They should have hit Vince. Because that's how you get title matches.
I can't fault you. From history, that does work.
But it was a beautifully told story. You had the New Day have to go through all their biggest feuds in the last 5 years to get the moment we've been waiting for. Mm-hmm. Beginning with the club, which got absolutely annihilated right away.
And if you love looking up at the dirt sheets, you might know why. They might not be sticking around for all too long. Then
you had the Bar.
I believe you have Rusev.
It was Rusev and Shinsuke, which obviously took a while, but they survived that match.
Then we got the Bar.
Then they got the Bar, and that one was grueling.
Very much like a replay of last week, where the Bar is really proving to be tough challenges.
And then they put Big E through a table after they lost.
That's just poor sportsmanship. Come on. Loss is a loss.
And then the Usos come out.
I'm going to put this as moment of SmackDown. Like, the top.
We respect you. And we forfeit.
And
then Daniel Bryan proceeds to destroy his locker room.
he got pretty mad.
Including knocking over a pretty nice-looking television.
That he was, yeah, it's very much a replay of last weekend as well, in terms of extra people getting shoved on the end that involves Daniel Bryan. And this time, though, it came a bit of a different outcome.
I love how they act like the announce table weighs like 1,000 pounds.
It's like 3 slabs of not wood. But
yeah, you've turned it over on somebody and they can't get back in the ring.
Yeah. It's just one of those things that you just have to believe, the announce table is really heavy. The steps weigh so many tons. These are just things you gotta go with.
But the New Day pulled it off in the end with a count out to secure Kofi Kingston going to WrestleMania.
It wasn't the cleanest win, but that doesn't matter.
And earlier I said I had something for SmackDown.
Go nuts.
And the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. You should probably already figure it out by now.
Is it that Jey Uso is going to win?
No. It'd be that they're going to stick Kofi in it and demand that he wins the match in order to get his title match.
I could see it. I feel like someone bounded it.
Technically, they never actually said he was going to be facing Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
Outright. At least Vince never did. He just said he was going to WrestleMania.
Goddamn Vince.
So there's always the possibility they could continue to try to screw with Kofi.
Mm-hmm.
Though I think they finally got to the point where it's like it's finally been overcome. But there's always possibilities.
There's always. I'm looking forward to see what we do next week. Obviously Kofi's got his opportunity now, whatever that means. But next week I guess we'll sort of solidify if anything else funky is going to happen before the match. Whether that's the New Day barred from ringside but Rowan not, or anything else, so any sort of additional stipulation to tip the scales in Daniel Bryan's favor. That's pretty much it that I can see from Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, anything I missed? Well, you skim that. I'm a roll back to a point I made in the Raw half, and I said becoming the runner-up of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was like a golden pass. I've looked at the results. No, it's not. That was a one-off.
Yeah, just as bad as the actual winner.
Well, yeah, the runners-up were Big Show, who, I guess, won it the next year, so maybe that's a bit of success. Damien Mizdow, who didn't last much longer afterwards. Kane, who doesn't do a whole lot. Jinder Mahal, that obviously won the title. And then Baron Corbin, who I guess had a fairly decent run, but not anything too crazy. And as you say, you look down the winners list and you're like, Cesaro, okay, man, he went on to do the bar thing, maybe. Big Show, nothing. Baron Corbin, nothing. Mojo Rawley, nothing. Matt Hardy, nothing. A whole lot of nothing.
Well, technically, Matt Hardy had the tag team title reign with Bray.
True. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of something. I'm looking here as well at the list of participants over the years, and I see that Fandango, Goldust, and Heath Slater are the only competitors to be in all 5 years so far. Will they keep up that streak? One of them probably won't.
They probably will, and honestly, for selfish reasons, I'd like to see Goldust win. Because you know why? He has never won at WrestleMania.
Not a single match.
Oh, if you don't count Battle Royals, he's 0-7. If you include the Battle Royals, he's 0-12.
Include them, it makes the stat sound better.
Yeah, everybody always talks about Big Show and his ineptitude at winning at WrestleMania. But he did win some matches.
Yeah. Okay, well.
But yeah, Goldust has not won a single match.
Odds that it happens? Low. Awesomeness if it did happen? High. Alright, well, if you haven't found anything else about Raw and SmackDown, that means we're all out of time this week. You can visit nope, I gotta say it's been great talking to you first. Nope, I got ahead of myself. It's been great talking to you.
Bye, B.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlingRadio, Twitter page, twitter.com/WrestlingRadio, and we'll see you next week with the go-home shows of Raw and SmackDown before WrestleMania.